find within ourselves the strength to even be able to help someone. And
Absolutely right.
yeah, and that's true. And when we're corny, they may be into just receiving comfort from what we have to tell them or to show a shoulder to lean on, someone to hold, someone that will not just see you cry, but understand why you cry, where your tears come from within yourself because you care differently, you feel differently. But so many people are so self-centered that they bypass how you feel. And what they do is they put themselves first and foremost in front of the whole situation. But they're still here. And they need someone to counsel them and guide them through how they're handling the situation. You know, like they might just be so self-centered and grieving for grief.
It all depends too on the type of loss. Like I've seen, people who lose or their dad, and then that's when, at some points, they become their most selfish self because like a part of them is actually missing or gone. But again, I feel like it's all in the person, like whoever that relationship is with. I know, like I said, my experience that made me lose basically my emotional compass around death was my granddad. Like my granddad was my best friend. He died when I was 15. He died in my arms. So to hear his last words and people kind of downplay the situation,
they take it for granted.
It was
because
like,
they didn't hear his last words.
Right. So it's like, well, what did he say? Like that's hurtful. What he said was hurtful. So why do you want me to keep repeating it?
Yeah. Why you could keep putting yourself through the same thing?
And then again, as a child, because again, 15, you're an adolescent. You really don't know those emotions or how to navigate them or anything like that. And I think because I didn't have the proper grievance or the proper navigation of how to grieve, I lost that emotional compass when it comes to death.
Right.
So when I turned 23 and my dad died, it was like,
yeah, you had a better understanding.
It was just like,
he's dead.
Yeah, he did. Like,
died.
Yeah.
Where's the life insurance paper?
Well, it was just like, I'm
I mean, that's what a lot of people accomplish. They be looking to search your house. They go through your house. They go.
No, like it wasn't.
There's no doubt. The vultures definitely.
It wasn't like
the vultures is a bad Mickey Mouse.
So can't overlook when we're discussing grieving,
right?
Because sometimes you don't have opportunity to grieve. Like when my mom passed, they was all worried about her life insurance papers.
So that's the caveat. Like with my grandma, that we're trying to avoid is that process. Like we're pre-planning everything. My grandma's 99, so it's like any day now, sis. Like
she lived a prosperous life. She has.
What's up? What? Any day now, like she's not feeling to be 100. I mean, she could live to be 130.
My aunt passed away at 105.
Yeah,
so we're all going to die.
But the reality is, she's not going to be here forever. So what I learned with my granddad is it made everybody distant. You know, like
we live in another country.
No, like so there was a lot of bickering. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this and this. So
well, I need that car. I need the house.
So the thought process with this was, let's handle everything so that when it.
Oh, we're not recording.
Yeah, we are. It don't matter though. You good? No, you're joining in the conversation, so you're good. So when it comes to her, it's like pre-planning. It's like, okay, this is
I live an obituary.
Yeah, this is what she want her obituary. This is what she want to wear. Like, this is her choices, not where with my granddad. Like, we had to pick everything, and it's like, well, no, we don't. I don't think he should wear that. Oh, I don't think that color is good. Like, this time it's like, nah, she's signing off on everything that we're agreeing to. So So it's like if we are like, for instance, casket. Like, what color casket do you want? You want it to be blue? You wanted to be white. He wanted to have
Those
this.
type of
Yeah,
decisions.
like she's like white's pretty. So okay, white's pretty. We'll go with that. So
And that but white signifies purity.
yeah, it does.
Yeah, that signifies purity. Her heart
So-
was pure. Let's let her go pure.
So I feel like, and then like I also, like I'm a very spiritual person, so I believe in the spirit and the drive of the spirit. Like I feel like my grandma's here for her kids, for her grandkids. Like I think
That's
that
why she refused to leave.
right, that we carry that will for her to live. And I say that because I feel like some people just haven't let go yet.
Yeah.
And that's their choice. Like that's their choice to let go when they want to let go. But for me, I'm like, if something happens, I feel like I'm at peace.
Because you did everything that you were supposed to do, that you thought you could do, and what you permitted to do. Because you don't make every decision. You have to come together and get together and somebody come to an understanding where this is what it's going to be. And when that doesn't happen, that causes a whole lot of controversy and conflict among siblings and family members and uncles, aunts, and those who weren't even there, even though they related, they weren't there at all times. They just found out that she was sick. They just wanted to come for support, moral support,
Or not.
Or not, yeah.
Or not.
they can't wait till you go so they get free food.
So,
Is this the next slide right here?
yeah, that's the next
So
one.
before you share, I guess I have a question for both of you. How much do y'all love the stages of grief?
What happened?
Like
What happened?
Wait, what happened?
What's that?
when it comes to the model, the stages of grief, how much, when you look at the different stages, how much do you? Because when they at the caring place,
I'm gonna tell you the truth. Okay. I just put them on here. Okay. I didn't read them.
I read them.
I didn't study them. I didn't really look at it. She sent them to me. I said, "Y'all gonna add them to the thing," and I said,
no, and I'm only asking because
And do I love them? If excuse my language, fucked up. No, I
No,
do.
That was a trick
I'm
with me.
only asking because so Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, these are the stages of grief that she thought about way back when. And as a grief expert, like we go back and forth with people all the time about the stages of grief, right? Because we all know and have heard about the stages of grief. The only issue though is that when Elizabeth Kubler-Ross developed these stages of grief, she was developing them as if I was the person that was actively dying, not the person that was grieving.
Oh, wow.
And so these are stages that more closely align to someone that is in hospice, someone that has like a life-limiting illness that they're preparing for death, right? And so many, but that in our community, amongst, the community, we often think that these stages are for the grieving individual, when in actuality, they were designed and created for the person that is
You
dying.
learn something
And so
every day.
at the caring place, we use a different system to help us to structure our programming to support the peer support program in groups that we do. And it's more so the reconciliation needs. And what that means is there are critical needs that a grieving individual has that they need in order to support them and help them heal in terms of their grief experience. I was going to say acceptance being one, but the first is just accepting that reality and trying to make meaning of that moving
So
forward.
what are the stages?
I'm glad that you asked. So first being
You was intrigued. I was like, when does that happen?
yeah, so it can because there's so many times where you think of yourself and the grief experiences that you had where you were in denial.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone through
initial
every
shock
one
when
of
you were in
those
so many
stages. Like I've gone through the most stages that I go to for me is denial.
Mhm.
That's the one that hits
This
me
can't be happening.
the most.
And I think that's how we relate is because we all feel the denial, like this can't be a thing that's happening, this can't be real, this, they can't really be going. And that's how, in our minds, we made it make sense for the grieving individual. But Alan Wolfeld, we love Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, don't get me wrong, she does a lot of work, she has done a lot of work. Yes. That's Kubler-Ross. Yeah, Kubler-Ross grief cycle. But
Listen, I did it. I did it.
Like I said, for so many people in the community, we don't know because that's what we were taught. When it comes to the stages of grief, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross was put at the forefront of things, and made us believe that this is how we are grieving, when in actuality it's how somebody that's dying is grieving, not the actual thing. Or what they were interested in, what their favorite food was. And then after that, you have to start trying to figure out how to develop a new sense of identity. Who am I after this death? How does it define my life and me moving forward, right? How does it define my life and me moving forward, right? Next, search for the meaning of the memories and the meaning of the relationship. How can I still, in so many ways he talked about it, still have that connection with them, talking to them?
Yeah,
How can I still have that support for them or from them, even though they're gone? And then lastly, letting others help you create that support system and allowing others to support you, the community, the church, wherever it is that you find friends, that allowing them to support you and be there for you and letting them know the ways that they can support you, that would be helpful. But those are more so the 6 reconciliation needs. I got
what she said, what she read was different.
Yeah, so what she basically said is that the ones that I read are for someone who's
Just
actually
the last 3.
huh?
That's the last
Just the last
2 or 3.
2 or 3. It's okay. Or for those who are going through the process of crossing over now, however you want to say it. But the ones that she gave are more so for the ones who the people that are experiencing that loss. Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, I feel like there's some similarities but some differences as well. Because with Kubler-Ross, like I said, I've felt all of those feelings, but even what you're explaining, I've experienced those as well. But I also feel like everybody has their own grieving process.
and every grief experience is unique.
It comes in stages.
A lot of times we have adults that come that like have 2 twin brothers that are grieving, and they're like, one's moping around, doesn't want to talk about it. The other one is just happy, and you can't tell that he's even misses his dad. And I'm like, the 2 of them had 2 very different relationships with their dad. They had different experiences, and they also, one that appears happy is actually more down and out than the other one that appears like he's not, right? So.
And that was something that always always did something to me, because I watched a movie and they were like, you're the only one that's not crying. And this was like in a death scene, but it was like, you're the only one that's not crying, but you look like you're experiencing the most pain.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes people cover that with the smile or with the laughter, but they're like deep down, it's like a crushing feeling for them.
So I said she actually just talked about like having that feeling of wanting to just shut it off because you have more responsibilities, more people that you just have to be like there to support. And so it happens.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah. So can you're with the Curing Place, can you give us a little bit, or our viewers, a little bit more information on the Curing Place, how it services the communities, whatever else you can give us?
Right, yes. So Highmark Caring Street. We also have 3 other locations, one up in Erie, PA, one in Harrisburg, PA, for anybody that's out there. And then also one about 20 minutes away from downtown Pittsburgh in Warrendale, Wexford area. We've been around for 27 plus years and been able to support over 300,000 family members across all 4 sites. And so, as I mentioned, it's a grief support service for children, but it's a family-based program. And so while the children are in their respective group rooms based on their chronological ages or developmental levels, their adult supports are also in group rooms based on their relationship to the person that died. And so we always have a spouse loss or ex-spouse loss or partner loss group, as well as a group for individuals that have had a child die. And we firmly understand, and the peer support program. And so in each of the respective group rooms, we're creating a peer support model so that no grieving child is coming there and doesn't have to check out our website. It's open enrollment now. We have a group that's just getting ready to start in January. For anyone that might be interested, feel free to head on over there. But that's for individuals 18 to 30. For our in-person programming, we try to reach the children in the best ways that we can to support them through their grief experience and their adults by the creative arts. And so we do a lot of collages, masks, memory boxes, just different things to connect with them and help get them talking about their person. So something else that I forgot to say is that we are not able to reach every child. Every child just doesn't have the adult supports to be able to come in person downtown Pittsburgh for programming from typically it's like 6 to 7:30. They don't have an adult support. They can get off work or, just different things. And so we try to reach as many children as we can in our school systems as well. And so we're doing programming in most Pittsburgh public schools as well as some of the charters. We also can go in and train or set. The only thing that I didn't mention, so each of our different sites has 5 staff members. All of our staff members are either master's or doctorate level clinicians. Many of us have our own private practices or still see clients on the side. And then our programming in person, all of the group rooms, and a lot of times when I say this, people are like surprised, but our programming is fully facilitated in the group rooms by volunteers. And so on a group night, we'll have anywhere from 20 to 25 volunteers that are there helping to support us in our programming. And so if anybody out there is interested in supporting grieving children, I promise we're not crying all the time, but we'd like to help us and volunteer. They can get you connected with me as well.
So you mentioned like the virtual is from 18 to 30. Mm-hmm. So I really guess like if there's a great span of people that 30 through that don't really have, I'm not going to say a support system, but they don't really have a program like that to grieve. Do you guys have anything that can tailor to those people? Not necessarily a service, but
yes. And so we typically make referrals. Back in 1997, when the Caring Place was founded, at the time there were only 3 grieving centers in the U.S. that were focusing on grieving children, and several hundreds that were focusing on grieving adults. And so we have several programs here in Pittsburgh, Allegheny County, and different counties that we partner with that work with grieving adults, that have adult groups that we could potentially refer them to.
Okay.
And so that's more so the avenue that we try for anyone 30 plus. The reason why our virtual program encompasses 18 to 30, a lot of the times when we have our adults and our children that come, and teens that come to our program, they have an older sibling that might be away at college or, off living, in a different city because they're a little bit older. And they see the support that their family's getting from our program and want that support for themselves as well.
Right. I don't know. Like I said, for me, grieving is just different. I also, like I said, when we started, there's the process also that a lot of people don't understand is that you grieve other things like relationships. And a lot of times we don't have the support, nor do we know how to explain the grief in those situations without feeling, I don't know if I want to say stupid.
We call that disenfranchised grief. And so what that means is having
a placed by yourself, and you choose to be there because you don't want everybody in your business, and you don't know how they're going to deal with the fact that you're expressing yourself about how you feel about the nigga left you or the guy left you or you left him. He might be doing the most. Too much at one time and not enough for you. So, yeah, that happens. So,
but that's called disenfranchised grief, and what it means is it's essentially a grief experience that we have that others don't acknowledge. in a sense. Or that
Okay, can you break that down, please?
disenfranchised grief. And
Yeah.
so there are so many different facets of grief. She
Yeah,
said break it down. So,
break it down.
so many different facets of our grief experience. Like you said, a divorce that happened, a relationship that ends, or it could be, say for instance, someone in the LGBTQIA community that has a partner that wasn't acknowledged by their family that died, right? It's like, it's not a real grief experience. Why do you want us to grieve with you or feel sorry for you when you're not actually, you shouldn't be going through it.
Right.
What happened that caused you such, so many people I'm sure in your life think you should be happy that, that situation's over, that you're made it to the other side. So many people don't, when in reality, no, I should be grieving because this was a relationship that I thought would take me to the end of my lifetime, right? I didn't sign up for a marriage because I thought it would be over in 5 years. I signed up because I thought that this was, the situation that would take me until I wasn't here no more, right? And that's why I'm grieving, because now here I am trying to figure out how to, get myself back in the field or go to the next step.
So we're full audio right now. Not a big deal because the audio is great. And we were discussing a lot. I'm actually very thankful that you have came onto the show and gave insight on the different things that you are experienced with throughout the caring place. Now, are you a doctor or licensed or which one are you?
Yeah, so I'm in the process of completing my doctorate with DK University in counselor education and supervision. And so after that, I'll be, I actually have all my coursework finished. I'm just in the process of finishing my dissertation. And I start, saying that a little bit lower because at this point, it's just time for me to finish writing it and get it over with. But yeah, so after that, I will be.
So you be a counselor
Educator. So it's counselor supervisor. I'm in their counselor education and supervision program. And so what that means is after that, I can open up a private practice and supervise master's level or bachelor, doctor level clinicians.
Okay, all right.
And give them hours.
I thought we was about to be able to give out like a new black therapist out this bug, but
oh no, I'm already in the NAMI guide. I'm already listed.
So you're a therapist?
Yes, but I don't have no.
I don't have no
space. I don't have no space right now.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm saying. Girl, she's not.
But you have all your credentials.
She's not accepting new patients right now.
No, my question, I got a better question than that, but I'm going to ask it off camera. I got another question.
Whenever you're ready.
I'm actually good. Like, this was a good conversation for me. I'm very happy that nobody was in here boohoo tears.
I think that was a lot of people's fear, that they was going to be here snotting it up.
Yeah, like I didn't want it to end up being boohoo tears. I wanted this to be a very therapeutic conversation with more of an educational presence than the actual presence of going through the process of grief, but also like a support system as well.
It can be heavy, especially if you're carrying it every day.
And I just showed up. I worked there, but at the same time, I have been enlightened.
We like when people come and get something of value.
Yeah.
That is the point of the podcast, is to gain something of value. Not to be talking
private podcast, and I came up because I work here. Yeah, I'm never going to know this. The janitor, but at the same
not the janitor.
Yeah, I clean up everything.
Well, the janitor deserves the same respect.
I know that's
right.
So don't say just the janitor.
We go through trials and tribulations of everyday life, and the thing is, it was informative. Period. It was informative because I usually deal with everything by myself, with myself. And I ask for advice from some people, but the people that I ask for advice have no knowledge and don't know what to do with themselves. So sometimes it always needs to have a support system and people who are not intimately involved in the situation. If you're not intimately involved in the situation, you can hear what the situation stands and then you have a better input because you're not personally involved. But once you become involved, then you're indoctrinated into that person's life. And the things that they are going through and the things that they share with you is intimate. It's intimate. When I told you I slept at my mother's grave for 2 years, I did. I literally went there 2 years and cleaned it off and whatnot. My little sister got killed. She's up there 50 yards from where my mother is at. But I learned about myself, how to deal with it. And I learned to deal with it. So now I place flowers on graves and birthdays and holidays. And I don't later anymore. I still light candles. I still put flowers. But your own truth be dead. When your name is no longer spoken out of the mouth of the living.
That's it.
When the living speaks of you no more, that means that your voice is no longer heard.
Well, that's like, what is it, Hispanic? They do La Dia de Muertos. Yeah.
They do what?
It's La Dia de Muertos.
Yes.
So,
with the skeletons and all of that.
Well, no, what it is basically, and I hope I'm not getting this wrong. It's like I don't want to say a ritual, but it's kind of
it's a ritual
where they put their loved ones' pictures on a mantle for basically reincarnation for whenever.
I don't know about all that. I don't want to see nobody out there. I'm buried.
Well, I mean, and again, that's part of being spiritual. Like when you have certain type of gifts and you're spiritual and you tap into that, like everybody who I know is connected to me, who I call my army, I could see them, I could talk to them, and I want to.
Yeah, I wish I could see
with no fear,
with no fear,
conversation.
Man.
And don't worry if you know what they say next or what I
like a lot of them have actually guided me through decisions in my life. Like you know you shouldn't be doing that, or you know you need to make this decision while you sitting. Like, why you sitting on making this decision?
Yeah.
You gonna be alright. You gonna be cool.
It's gonna be alright.
It's gonna be alright. So, I learned to start listening to them. You know, when they tell me certain things, I listen now instead of rejecting.
Yeah.
And
I had to.
And I learned to having I shouldn't be ashamed to have the gift. Like a lot of people, when you're like, oh, I can
spooky.
Like it's like what? What you mean?
See, I don't accept that because I was born Halloween Day.
Oh, wow. Like other people can be afraid, but I'm not afraid.
No, me either.
Nothing.
I know what happened.
What happened?
I switched to 2T.
Well, I apologize about the interruption y'all said.
You did not.
You did not.
I had to actually find out what conversations were being held.
Oh, there's always good conversations being held. Other people, because in life we all go through things, and in our community we have been taught to shut down.
Yeah, shut down and shut up.
Yeah. So
see, when I see that right there, it says getting it out. Get it out, so I can share
it. But it also
open myself, and I feel so relieved. Really,
that's what it is.
Because I'm really not that type of person. I don't.
So getting it out was a sentiment to release.
Like getting it out.
It's to release. It's to
that's what I got it out.
Yeah. So
I got it out. I share with somebody all that I've been holding in, and I keep holding in. When I can share it with someone, that I can get some advice about how to deal with it while holding it in.
Right.
Because everything ain't for everybody.
Right. It sure ain't. But again, this is so you coming on and telling your story, someone who might be listening or watching may be like, well, damn, I lost my mom too. And those are some of the same behavior patterns that I might have had. Look, I ain't the only one.
Yeah.
So it's just
you're not alone.
Right. So it's just blessing someone else to know, like, hey, you're not the only one that could be.
Yeah, because when my mom passed, I swear I went through diabolical situations.
So we are back up. If you want to kind of just go through the folders, what all we got in these beautiful folders.
Can I have a card?
Yeah, I was gonna say you can actually have the whole thing.
Oh, she giving you the whole folder.
Take that
Give you a
with you.
packet. That's
Oh,
for you,
there's
Dress.
some information in there for you to read and become knowledgeable about how you can support yourself and other grieving individuals and grieving kids. But so I just brought a couple things, and all of this can be found on our website, highmarkcaringplace.com. All of this can be shipped to you. If ever you're interested in any of our brochures, feel free to reach out to myself or any of our staff members there. But just some of our literature. We have a bunch of different literature. We've been around, like I said, for 27 years. We are one of the first experts of grief when it comes to children, supporting grieving children. And so there's a lot of written materials out there that I honestly don't think enough people use it. So this is just our basic program overview. It just talks about what the children and families would experience in coming to our program. We have one with questions that teens ask. We also have, is there anything that I can do? Ways that you can support a grieving friend. We also have caring for yourself as you grieve. And then we have, questions that children ask. And I also brought y'all our 3-part series, which is a grief spiral, as we believe it at the Caring Place, and understanding the grief process, the journey of grief, and then lastly, the hope and healing. And then QR code in here, this one, that you can use to scan and order your own set of however many of these brochures that you want delivered to you directly from our warehouse. In there, we also have our volunteer brochure. Like I mentioned, we're always looking for volunteers. If you or anyone that you know might be interested, feel free to reach out and I can get you connected to our volunteer services coordinator, Dr. Sheena Shannon. And then lastly, a resource guide for all of the brochures that we offer so that you can read through and see if any that you might be interested in ordering as well. Some pens, calming strips.
Can you explain the calming strip? Because that got my attention.
And so what it is, and I brought a couple, is just a fidget. I like to think of it as just a little piece of calm that you can take with you anywhere that you go. I keep one on my laptop. I don't have a laptop here. I keep one on my laptop next to my desk that I work with at home. One at my computer desk at my job. One in my car next to the steering wheel. It just depends. If you need to stay focused, it just is a little fidget to help you stay focused. You can peel it and stick it anywhere that you like to stick it. But it's just a little tool that we use to and then, honestly, if you have ADHD or anything like that,
all of that.
It helps.
All of
She
that.
works from home and she's on the computer all day and she be so frustrated sometimes.
I got all
I be
of
on the
that.
phone, we be on FaceTime talking and I be like, girl,
It's hilarious.
stop.
Because people don't understand, like, the process of working from home. Like, everybody thinks, like, oh, I love to work. Like, would you really love to work from home and be in home all day for multiple days at a time and not venturing out? Because what do you need to leave the house for if you work from home? So,
and then I'm trying to open these, but they won't open. But these are also something that I brought for y'all, and you're welcome to anyone that's out there that would like to. You can go to our website and place your order for a nominal fee. It's usually either a donation or you can just pay the shipping. I think it's like $5 or something. You can get your own set of our newly released grief support cards for children. If you think about any Hallmark, Dollar Tree, anywhere that you've been in to buy a card, grief card, you find many for grieving adults, for grieving whoever, none that are tailored to grieving children. And so we work with an illustrator named Luke Flowers from the Fred Rogers Production Company that just kind of helped bring our idea to life. Fred Rogers, I see how you love it, Mr. Rogers. So Mr. Rogers was actually, and I'm just going to say this for any of the viewers out there, he was actually an honorary chairperson of the Caring Place up until he died. And our organization is actually the only organization that he chaired in his lifetime. And so he did a lot in helping us to understand how we can best understand children and support them and communicate with them based on how they play. So
beautiful day.
everybody does.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was my guy. So then I brought a pack for each of you to have as well.
Thank you. Well, I'm griefed out. I'm griefed out.
Yeah,
So, Do you have anything?
What? Going on?
No, I mean, do you have anything related
To add for the topic. Oh,
Yes.
no.
Okay, cool.
I really said that, the people that could have came didn't come because they assumed, that this would be a situation where we're going, I'm not going to hold you. When she brought it to me, I thought she was being funny. I said, why do you think you were so funny? Why you always want to do something that's going to piss me off? Like, why you want me to be mad? I don't know why you would do that. But I'm glad, we did it.
It's
I
a
take back
necessary
my
conversation.
Yeah,
premeditated anger.
Yes. So
Not even anger, annoyance. It wasn't
It
anger.
was
I was
annoyance.
annoyed that she even did it because she wouldn't drop it. Because I was trying to ignore her and bypass it, and I put it on the list, and then she put it on the list herself. I'm like, so you just gonna force it?
Yeah.
because
I don't want to talk about it.
So again, to me, it's always getting it out, and those be the topics that need to be talked about the most. The ones that people don't want to talk about, or the topics that people are reluctant to talk about. Because I always think like whatever the thought process is, it's not never. It's bad time. Yeah,
It's bad.
it's not ever going to turn out like that. There's been a lot of topics that we have where in my mind I'm like, oh snap, this isn't going to be how I think it's going to be, but it turns out to be a situation like this where it's a good conversation. We're getting the information that we need, and we're actually blessing our audience with what they need. So
I'm saying we also partner with, for anyone out there that has experienced infant loss, a group called Emma's Footprints, and they're always
I'm gonna give it to her.
They're always looking for people. They just started a group out closer to like Warrendale area, but they're always looking for people, moms, dads that might be interested in joining the group. So if you don't know anybody,
I do,
share
and I need to give you on that. Because we just had a show on that.
Yeah, we did.
My niece.
And we looked for somebody for that show too to come in and talk, to help us process the pregnancy and child loss episode.
I'm saying, because I could have connected y'all with somebody else that
we put it that blast. I put it like an inquiry out, and names got dropped, but nobody was like, "Yeah, I'll do it." So it's just like, all right, we're gonna roll with it, see how it goes.
But my niece recently in August lost her daughter, and I could, she talks about it, but she's also angry. So I would definitely love that resource to give to her, so that she could try to possibly navigate a little bit better. But that was another thing. Like we, for some reason, again, my family has no concept of emotion. So our side of the family, like my brother, who's her dad, me, we joke at funeral services.
Of course.
So
we use humor.
Some of them be funny. My granny, was a gut, but we just knew we was in trouble. We was in our pew stretched.
So like there were certain
that was a mess.
There were certain things like even the announcement of her grave, like my brother announced it in a group chat. So he was like, "Damn, bro, she can't even do it herself. Like, you excited, but it's her baby. Like, let her get that off."
Is it? It's always the grandparents.
Yeah, it's the grandparents.
You wait. you just wait. I'll be looking at you like, remember when you said?
And then there was like an ongoing joke with me because my daughter was so light. She was a light baby. So when I had her, one of my brothers was like, "Is you sure that?"
I went through that too. Because my last 4, well, actually, the last 6 are all light brights. And so when Jamari was born, his friend was like, "Oh."
Yeah. So when she
not knowing he a fake light, he a fake brown skin and thing. And when Kaya was born, they was like, "Oh, I'll be okay."
So
you did twice.
when her baby was born, she FaceTimed me from NICU. And I was like, "Whose fucking red ass baby is this? Who's
my baby?
Still." So that was her joke. Like, and Sierra and my daughter Sierra was holding her, so I was like, "Oh, you holding a white baby that's like you."
Terrible.
It happens. That's genetics.
Yeah,
that's why they say the black woman is the
Black is where all the colors come together.
We have the power to birth
the whole rainbow.
Yeah.
So that about does it for today's show. Do you have anything going on that you would like our viewers to know about?
Follow the support.
Y'all can follow me on social media at Nine Dukes. Follow our social media page, our Caring Place. Outside of that, we have some events coming up that are listed on our website. I have a business, Our Grandmother's Here. You're welcome to follow that on social media as well. We make natural hair care products for us and children as well. So that's it. I'm just trying to coast through these holidays.
I feel
it's
that.
enough. It's enough already going on. I need to.
I'm actually lightweight excited for one. I've been excited. I know, is that not nuts?
That's good then.
I'm actually a little bit excited. I got my little shopping done.
Okay. So you ahead of the game.
I'm big stoked. I can't wait. I'm like, no, I cannot wait for the kids to get their stuff. I'm like,
I just don't. I'm tired of the food. Like, I don't want another piece of turkey.
oh yeah, I'm not going out to the movies and out to dinner.
Like, I don't want to do none of that. Like, let's do something. I'm tired of fried chicken. Like, I don't want to do none of that. None of that.
I'm glad that I'm Jamaican and I have a Jamaican fiance, and so we do in so many ways a traditional meal, but then we also mix it up. So we have oxtails for Thanksgiving.
Oh, I need to be at your house.
So sometimes when
no, you send me a text from now on.
Yes, no, my fiance, she's the one that does a lot of the Jamaican.
Y'all text me. I need to be over here at your house.
Because the oxtails and
I'd have been sliding through
brown chicken, that one, boy. When I went to Jamaica, I had some of that. I was like, "Ooh, this is delicious."
Yes, ma'am.
That and jerk, like that's all you really eating. That and jerk chicken.
Oh yeah, that's a good
They had some
chicken.
fish stuff that I wasn't. I'm not fucking with no fish with the head on it.
Oh, that's the best kind.
I'm not doing that.
That's the chicken. Next time, just have them cut the head off.
Nah,
That's the best kind of fish.
it had the head
The
on it
full
still.
red
Yeah.
snappers.
Yeah, the red, like
Redfish.
yeah. It had the eyes was looking at me. I was like, no,
I ain't there.
I'ma just not eat tonight.
I'm telling you.
I'ma just not eat tonight. I'm just not. Let me get some of that leftover jerk chicken, please. And red beans and
Plate me.
peas and rice, please. Thank you.
But this was a good time. I'm happy that I seen someone post about it. To just be able to come and join you all.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
And participating and being awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Who do you have?
Well, you know, per usual, the kids. The kids are authors. They have published journals. So if you're more writing based and the expression of your thoughts, feelings, emotions, and experiences, then my son's My Voice, Your Voice Matters journal is for you. If you're more art based, more doodle based, color based, paint based, then my daughter's How Do I Feel sketch journal is more for you. Both journals are available on Amazon for purchase. You can search them by name, or you can type in my name, Carlisa Turner, my son's name, Jamari Turner, or my daughter's name, Kaya, Kyah Turner. And either one of those names will produce both journals. The purpose of the journal was born out of the passing of my husband, to give the kids an outlet because their return to school was horrible, and what should have been a safe space full of support was torturous because the adults who I was entrusted my children to were careless with their feelings. So in a way for us all to know in real time what was going on, we created these journals so that they can write and get their feelings out, and us to be able to break those down and then debrief those with the parties that question, be it an administrator, a faculty member, a peer, or whatever. So that was the purpose of it. However, your journal, your life, your story, you do what you please. However it resonates with you, be it for your youth. I did it for my children. But you as an adult, as a teen, as an elder, are free to use it to your heart's desire. So hopefully that they will be a blessing to you as they were a blessing to us, as a way for us to process our trauma. That's all I got.
What do I got? Towards the end of the year, I really don't be having too much going on. this time for me is more of a time that I like to spend with my family. And
Did you ever have the basement for you?
I had one, yeah. I did. I had that last Saturday. In the freezing, wintry cold. It was like one of the coldest days in November. So I did have that. I really don't have any events coming up until like next year. I'm really, like I said, this is the time of year where I kind of regroup. I like to regroup around December, January, February, and just
Because your birthday's in January.
I mean, I don't I don't think that it's necessarily because my birthday's in January. I just feel like a new year, a new leaf. So whatever, like December, I try to do my vision board, get my stuff together for the new year so that I could diligently create those opportunities. Other than that, I'm still vending. If you're looking to purchase, I didn't we'll talk about that after the show. Just gotta. Is some new ones you want? I don't know what size. I don't know what size. I need a deposit. I need a deposit.
No, you could have that deposit 16 times. I ain't even saying that. I am ready.
But when you're ordering, please note, just because now my house is starting to look like a store, and I don't want it to look like a store. Please just pay for your stuff, please. Because I end up paying for it on the back end, and I don't want to have items just sitting in my crib that I don't want.
So you saying like I said,
I mean, all I have right now is an extra large Ralph Lauren polo. It's like, no, 3X. It's a 3X Ralph Lauren polo.
I think that's my name size. I think
I'm selling it for $50. If you want to get
I got you. Merry Christmas, man.
But other than that, like, yeah, anything that you could possibly think of, shoot me a text, messenger with the pictures, and I'll work on getting it to you. December 13th is the deadline to get you your stuff by Christmas if you want to order by Christmas. But other than that, it's usually I order on Monday or Tuesday. Your order served by Monday or Tuesday. Like 5 to 7 business days.
13th?
Tomorrow.
She said that was what I wanted the whole time. I'm telling these fools, her and my son. Because, you know, God forbid I pick the sneakers I like. I ain't allowed to like certain sneakers.
If he try me like, y'all, them is cute.
He asked, my heart just got broken. How about Converse that came out with the boots?
Oh, I seen that.
I said, Converse, why would you do that?
I don't necessarily. I'm more of a Nike.
I love me a good pair of Chucks. I can't even out. It's got a boldy. I just got some bull crap. But anyway, I ain't allowed to like the sneakers I like. So, you know, her and my son be on my neck about these sneakers. I'm like, I want an all black pair of Chuck Stacks.
I mean, I did post a pair. She liked them. I wasn't sure.
That's what I want.
I wasn't sure she was being serious, but
I really want them.
Today. Okay.
Yeah,
That's what I said. I want it.
I got an order coming Monday. I was like, I don't know if she's serious or not.
I was so serious.
But other than that, I don't really have too much going on. I'm writing, back to writing, poetry. I just need to get back into music.
Come on, girl, get it. That concludes our episode of the Social Flex #grieving. Thank you for tuning in and sticking with us. Hopefully you got something of value out of this episode. Next week, we're supposed to be talking about something, but we gotta regroup. We gotta see if that's what we're gonna do or we're not gonna do. We don't know. We'll holler. You know, because you follow us. You'll see it.
Yeah. Here at the Social Flex, we do always want to remind you to be blessed and a blessing.